Welcome back to cool camera gear that you can get today for under $50 on Amazon, and we're on episode 6, I believe. We're a few days late, but as you can see, we got a new studio, so pretty excited about that. Anyway, let's jump right into it. None of the products mentioned today have been sponsored or sent to me by the companies. I have purchased all of these myself, so I hope that's helpful to you. And first off that we're going to talk about is this lovely little camera strap by K&F Concept. Now there are a ton of camera straps on Amazon for under $50. Lots of really nice ones, some really kind of naff looking ones. So if you want us to do like a full video of like cool camera gear under $50, like camera strap edition, just let me know and we'll get like 10 different camera straps under that price point and we can compare all of them. The K&F Concept, I have to say, have really been increasing the quality of their products. They kind of started out from my perspective as a relatively cheap company, but they still make very affordable products, but the quality of these things is lovely. This one, for example, is just like a rope. It's kind of that nice circular kind of style. You know, it's not like a strap, it's more like a rope, nicely twined. It's got this lovely little leather piece right here that has K&F written on it. And I got the green one because I think it looks really nice. And it's a decent length, and they have lots of different colors available. But the nice thing is it's comfortable and it looks cool. And I think it's great. So we'll go ahead and we'll attach it on my Fujifilm X-M5 here. It's got these little little leatherette sort of ends here to sort of help protect your camera gear. And like most of these things, it just uses like a standard keychain. You can buy lots of different types of adapters to sort of help them quick release from the camera. But I don't tend to like most of them, so I'm just going to stick with it as is. And there you have it on the camera. I think it looks really nice. It just works well. It's comfortable. It's easy going. So if you're kind of looking for a stylish camera strap, I think this is just a really good option. Coming in at only $10.99, literally $11 for a genuinely decent looking and feeling camera strap. I think it's a great choice. It's a camera strap, so there's only so much you can say about it, but I think this one does a great job. Next up is a box of screws or screw adapters. These things are just incredibly handy. There's a variety of these that you can get online, ranging between about $5 and $20. And I think honestly, the bigger the set that you can get, the better. I've probably bought about 5 or 6 different sets in my time. This is my latest one, and it comes with kind of everything that you could possibly need. You have 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapters for your tripod screws, which is incredibly handy. You have male to male adapters, so that's 3/8 to 1/4 inch. You've got a 1/4 inch to another 3/8, but that's male to female. You have 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch to 5/8 adapters. You got cold shoe adapters. You got extra tripod screws for all of your tripod needs. You got everything. It's incredibly handy to get your hands on some of these. If you do anything of building any kind of rigs, using any sort of tripods, attaching anything to your camera whatsoever, these sorts of things are incredibly handy to have, because you're always going to lose your little screws. So not only do you get a little case to carry all of your screws in, but you also get a whole bunch of extras just in case you need them. So I highly recommend picking up a couple of different sets of these. The ones that I tend to go for are typically by Camvate or by Small Rig. Again, usually they're between $8 and $12 is often the ones that I go for, but I'll leave a couple of links in the description for you to choose. But these are just super, super helpful to have. And if you aren't sure how to build a nice big camera rig, I'd highly recommend checking out some of the other videos on the channel to turn a cheap little camera like a Sony a6700 or my Fujifilm X-M5 into a big old cinema rig like this for like $500. That's all, $500 to build something like this. I think it's a pretty good deal. Next up is something that you're probably going to want to get for almost any camera, but especially if you have a camera that doesn't have a viewfinder. If you have a camera that has no viewfinder, no rangefinder, and you're completely reliant on the screen, which is pretty common among sort of more cheap cameras, budget entry level cameras like the XM5, the ZV-E10 line, any of the ZV line, my Lumix S9, which you're watching right now, or my Sony FX30, which is this camera up here. One of the most important things you need to get right off the bat are screen protectors. I know this isn't very exciting. Screen protectors are not fun. It's not a very sexy purchase, but they are vital, because on a camera like this, or all 3 of these cameras, if anything happens to this screen, I'm blind. The camera becomes useless. On other cameras that you have a viewfinder, I would still recommend putting a screen protector on it, but at least if the screen gets damaged, you still have your viewfinder. With these, you're literally going blind. So I'd recommend it regardless, but all you need to do is basically hop onto Amazon and search for a screen protector and just type in your specific camera into the search bar and you'll find one on there that is relevant to your specific camera. Make sure that you pick one that is compatible with your camera. For example, the new Nikon ZR has a huge 4-inch screen, so you don't want to get a little 3-inch screen protector like this and stick it on that one. So just make sure that you pick up the right screen protector for your camera. And very simply, you get a couple of little wipes. You get a wet wipe and then a dry wipe. Use the wet wipe first, get it all nice and clean, then use the dry wipe and clean it off. Make sure you get every single speck of dust or dirt off of your camera, get it nice and pristine, and then you can go ahead, line that up nice and carefully and attach it onto your camera. You don't want to be running around worried that the whole thing is going to, crack and then you're not going to be able to use your camera. So pick up a screen protector. They're super easy to install. Really easy, nice and cheap. These ones that I got were $14, but again, it really depends on the camera that you get and the ones that are specifically related to your camera. But make sure you get one and try to aim for one that is a tempered glass. It's just a little bit stronger. Fourth on this list is something that I have attached to my Fujifilm X-M5 and my Lumix S9 at all times, and that is a grip. If you have a smaller camera that has a very, very shallow grip, or isn't the most ergonomic because you're trying to save on space. One of the really nice things is on the bottom you get an Arca Swiss plate. That means you can use this with any sort of Arca Swiss adapter and receiver, and then they have these nice little wooden handles that make for a much nicer grip on your camera. There's lots of companies that make them. Again, I can do a roundup of lots of them, but Left Photo are the ones that I typically like the most. Again, they're just cheap. They work great. They're not cheap built, but they're very, very affordable, ranging in around that $20 to $25 mark. So the one for my Lumix S9 was only $25. I just picked up one for my Nikon ZF and it was about $35. This one for my Fujifilm X-M5, again, you're talking $25-30. These are just fantastic to have. You don't have to get one by Left Photo, but I would just recommend picking up a little grip for your camera. One, it makes it much nicer to hold. Granted, that's just nice in general, but you also get your Arca Swiss plate on the bottom, plus typically you get a few more tripod screws that you can attach more accessories to your camera using that nice little screw kit that you purchased as well. All works together really well. It's just nice and adds a little bit of character to your camera, as you can see. It just makes it look a little more unique. You can choose one that works with your specific camera, with your specific style. You could go for a nice warm wood, you could go for a black one, you could go for a silver one, whatever you want to do. Just surf on there and I'm sure you'll find a perfect little grip for your camera. Now the last thing on this list is probably my favorite, and it is an NPF battery plate by K-Star, and it's genius. This thing is fantastic. It's basically an NPF plate. You've seen these before. They just power, you take an NPF battery and slap it onto this plate, and then it gives you multiple outputs. So on the bottom here, you've got a DTAP port, which is fantastic to get DTAP. You got two DC ports. So on one side, you have an 8.4 volt. On the other side, you have a 12 volt, and you have a nice little screw, like a thread here, so you can mount it onto things. And then on the top, you got USB-C and USB-A, meaning you can basically power any device that you want. So I'm actually using one of these right now to power my main camera, which is my Lumix S9. And what I did is I basically took one of these, a little clamp, and I just threaded it onto the side. Then all I did is I bolt this onto my monopod, run a dummy battery from the plate straight into the camera, and then I don't need to worry about overheating because the dummy battery removes a lot of that battery heat that happens inside the camera, transfers it to the heat on this battery outside of the camera, gives me much longer battery life. I mean, we're talking an entire day's shooting can comfortably work on this very, very easily. So these I just find incredibly useful. You can use these for almost anything that you could possibly need, and again, they're so cheap. This is $25. And again, 4 of these batteries, the 970s, you can get for $100. These are 65 watt-hour batteries. 4 of them for $100. If you wanted to get that same amount of battery power on V-mounts, you're probably spending $500. So to be able to get 4 batteries with a charger for $100 plus this little adapter for $25, I think it's a no-brainer. Obviously, these batteries are separate. That's a whole different discussion. But I would highly recommend picking up one of these K-Star, however you pronounce it, little NPF plates. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's my list for today. Some interesting items. If you have any suggestions for these things, because it's hard doing these every single month, leave some in the comments down below. If you want me to check out any pieces of camera gear under $50 and review them for you, let me know and I will do that. If you're interested in any of the pieces of gear that we talked about today, those will be linked in the description down below. Those are affiliate links which help support the channel, so I appreciate that if you use those. If not, no worries, just go to Amazon and search for them yourself. That's about all I have for you today. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, or maybe even subscribe as we continue to build this channel. I appreciate all of you for doing so, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.